consider to be naughty. I'm riding with a group of riders I don't typically ride with. In fact, it's my first time riding with almost all of them. I won't say who I've ridden with before, but it was a pretty good day. I don't think anyone got hurt. At least no one got hurt near me. And here's the first thing.
The truck wins every time.
Revving at a truck, right? Come on. I think you might have heard it, but bikes versus truck, the truck always wins. The truck gets to do whatever he damn well pleases. Don't be an idiot around trucks, guys. Let the guy go. He takes a long time to pull out. He decided to pull out long before we had shown up. Here's the second thing. Look at that. Blowing to a stop sign. Don't know what to say. I'm gonna keep the list of infractions going here. Maybe. I actually cut out a lot of this to keep the video within, what is it, 20 minutes or something. We're gonna keep going. This is my first time watching this, so it's gonna be my live reactions. Alright. So this is another thing. Look at how he pulls out there in front of those cars. Now watch closely here. He's well ahead of us, right? But keep your eye on the lead rider. Excuse me while I take a drink of my brew while I'm doing this. You can see that guy there in the silver SUV pulls out on my lead rider. So what do you think's gonna happen? That's right, they're gonna rev at him and talk to him. You know me, I'd let that shit go. It happens, man. And the driver even stops to fucking give the guy heed, which is kind of like the worst part. But, you know, if you ride slower, you won't get pulled out on. This is just showing a little bit of our group here. Nothing spectacular. I love hearing the sound of the GS starting up. It's not that high-pitched sport bike noise you get, but it's pretty cool. So here's our group. We got 4 sport bike riders, 3 leader bikes, 1 600, and myself. Look at this guy. That's being a little naughty there. So now we're getting on the highway. This is where things start to kick off in this video. So this is me wanting to be naughty. You know how I am with cornering. I want to brake late, get on the turns hard. I honestly thought to myself that I could, if I wanted to, pass this guy around the outside, like, no problem. But what a dick move that would have been. So I had heard from him. This is basically his second time riding since he had taken a 3-year break. He's on a bike that doesn't belong to him. Yeah, I understand why he took it nice and slow. And now we get on the highway. Look at everyone. Where'd they go? They're gone. And I gotta catch up. So here we go. It's time to start moving. You're gonna see me do things you never see me do. And not because I don't have the skill for it, but because I just don't want to. I mean, look how fast I'm going. What is that, 100 miles an hour, maybe? As everyone weaves in and out of traffic. You know, these guys wanted to cruise around and have some fun, and this is their definition of cruising around and having some fun, so I figured, you know, I'll put my life on the line a little bit and indulge myself and them. Obviously, it's no skin off their back if I don't ride with them. Like, what the fuck, right? Like, what do they care if I come out and ride or not? But at the same time, I don't know. These aren't guys I normally associate with, so I'm not going to talk smack about them. but they just, you know, their style of riding isn't the same as my style of riding. And I decided to go ride with them, so that means, you know, I should do stupid shit and keep up. So here's me. Obviously, my sense of traffic is a lot better than some of these guys, so I'm in the lane that's open while they're, you know, merging. This is where things kind of slow down a little bit. Getting caught in some traffic. It's not a whole lot we can do here. This is your typical DC area traffic you're seeing here. This is a fucking Sunday, guys. This is a fucking Sunday. And here we are going like 35 miles an hour on the interstate on a Sunday. Look at that, 40 miles an hour because trucks might flip over. We're definitely not doing 40 miles an hour at this point. Taking another good sip from my brew. I might have to cut this recording and get myself another brew when the time comes before the real fun begins. I might very well do that. I might very well do that. Got a little bit of lane splitting action now. So this is where, again, naughtiness starts to come in. I won't keep count because I cut out a lot of the naughty stuff. We were doing lane splitting earlier that I didn't show, just again for the sake of brevity. So, you know, I'm doing a little lane splitting, California style there, trying to, you know, at the same time be courteous to my fellow drivers, have a little respect for them. And here we go. I mean, doing some more lane splitting. My brew is low. It's out. I'm gonna stop here. So this is gonna be a little pause for the cause, as they say. As you can see, everyone pulled away, and I stopped lane splitting because I saw this woman in this Toyota here, this gray Toyota. She kind of swerved a little, and that kind of put the fear of God into me a little bit. So here we go. I'm gonna stop the video in 3, 2, 1, stop. Welcome back, myself. Trying to catch up to the group. I gotta be naughty, as they say. Got myself a third beer. This is where the fun really starts to get going here. What are we, about 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the video? I just want to thank you guys for watching. One thing that I really aspire to with this channel is to show both the good and the bad things about my riding. And maybe I'm not exactly proud of this, but if I were to hide this and not show it, you know, what would that make me? You know, I want to capture my riding, the good things and the bad things, and show as much as I can. Ooh, there we go. I was waiting for that moment. Who do I blame that on? You know, if I were one of these guys, and I don't want to talk smack, but if I were one of those guys, maybe I would have blamed that driver, but I blame myself 100%. I was going really fast. And thank God that guy saw me and unswerved. So here we go. Here's where things get started. Some highway smackdowns. Not really. We're in DC. Mr. White, as I would call him, got the jump on Mr. Multicolor, as I'll call him, because his bike is multicolored. It's like a pearlescent paint that's like green and purple. Very cool. Then we got Mr. Race, as I'll call him, because his bike's like a race bike. Then we got Mr. 600 on the 600. So that's probably what I'm going to refer to these guys as going forward, if you can still hear me. Mr. White, Mr. Multicolor, Mr. Race, Mr. 600. So that was our first race. It goes to Mr. White, 100% there. And me, Sterling Moto, on a GS. You think a GS can keep up with a sports bike, you got another thing coming to you. Maybe on the twisties, but certainly not in 60-mile-an-hour highway pulls. So I'm trying to catch up still. Just trying to catch up. We don't get to have too much fun here, to be honest with you, because look at the traffic. I mean, there is a lot of traffic. But we're being naughty. Basically, the idea behind this is, right, you get up, and then you kind of slow traffic down to build up a nice gap. And that way, with that gap, you can... Look at this truck to the right. Just oh, man. That guy's going to have some projects ahead of him. That's for damn sure. Having a little fun myself. I can't help it. Get the bug. Man, that was a close call. I mean, you saw that guy almost swerve into me. And who can blame him? He didn't see me. He was going to change lanes for whatever fuck reason he had, which... I mean, he had no real reason to change lanes, but he decided he wanted to change lanes, and there was no one next to him. And then there I was. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, so Mr. White, Mr. Multicolor, and Mr. Race are going to have a little race. Let's see who wins this one. I don't really remember who wins these, to be honest with you. I was trying too much not to die in the moment. Mr. Race! Look at Mr. Race! Oh, but then Mr. White at the end there! You gotta give it to Mr. White. He has got the balls and the motorcycle. Mr. Race has got the gears, though. He's got that gearing on that race bike. But at the same time, I think this is the second time he's ridden after taking a 3-year hiatus. And it's not his motorcycle, so he's playing it nice and cool, not being a dick, not being risky. And then we got myself and Mr. 600 here in the wings. I mean, what the hell are you going to do on a 600 against a leader bike? These bikes dyno at, 150. These old leader bikes dyno at like 140, 150 horsepower. And new leader bikes dyno at what? 170, 180, 190. A little burp. Now we're moving. We're cooking. See again, I mean, that's going fast. That was, I don't know what that speed was, but that was at least 100 miles an hour again. I tend to not do that kind of stuff. I'm not. And then look at this. This is another naughty thing. We're blocking that car, taking up like the whole road. Now this here is against SmackDown etiquette. You know what they're trying to do. They're trying to have a SmackDown between Mr. Multicolor and Mr. Race. But Mr. 600 here is in the middle of the motherfucking road. I don't know what to say. Yeah, you can even see me. I'm like, come on, dude, get out of the road. We're trying to be naughty here. What are you doing? I couldn't tell who that was. I think that was Mr. Multicolor. So, again, speeding up, catching up. I know there's one point in this where I get a decent little speed wobble because of my tires, my Hyde Now K60 Scouts don't like doing. I think I was doing about $120, and honestly, I don't think those. I wasn't looking at my speedo, but that's what it felt like, and those tires don't really like that so much. I think that might have been already happened. I can't tell anymore. I figured I would have seen the bars wobble back and forth a bit in the video, but I didn't notice that. Anyways, yeah, that was pretty scary, but at the same time, all I did was, when the bars started to wobble, I slowly let off the throttle, but more importantly, I loosened my grip. I realized, I was tight on the bars, so I loosened my grip on the bars there. And that's why you basically didn't see anything at all. And that's all the real fun I got to have with these guys. I lived the other direction. I wanted to get home. I wanted to feed my dog, take her out, check on the kitty cat, do all kinds of things. So at this point, I'm deciding for myself, hey, I think it's about time to turn around. To say, had a couple sips of my brew, and this is actually where things get fun for me. You'll see coming up on the exit here that I get a little aggressive. At this point, I'm kind of like, you know what, I've had my fun, I've had my fill, this is not my style of riding. I'm kind of, I wouldn't say pushing it, but I had that close call with that SUV. Ugh, not good. And we're going fast, we're rolling with traffic and then cutting through traffic, and again, being very naughty, doing things that would get us in a shitload of trouble with the police had we been caught. I think the only people who weren't so naughty, myself, Mr. CBR 600. Actually, was he on a 600? What am I saying? Mr. 600 was not on a CBR. I won't say what kind of bike he is on. That's up to you to decide. And Mr. Race. Mr. Race was being very good. Here we are, going pretty good. Again, speeding up, weaving through traffic. At this point, I decide I'm done. This is my exit. I'm getting off. And here I get to have a little bit of fun. Going into this corner, nice and quick. Getting over, leaning in, trail braking deep into this corner. Especially for Hyde Now K60s, trail braking nice and deep. Look at the speed I'm carrying. It's very fun. Coming out of the corner, taking it easy here because I need to get all the way to the left. I need to cut across the road here and come all the way to the left to get onto the highway going south, which is where I need to be, to get back into Virginia, to get back to Sterling from, well, this is about halfway between 495 and Bmore, Baltimore. And there we go, guys. A lot of people like doing these kind of highway rides, but for me, it's kind of just scary. I don't know. It was fun, but I don't know. Think about your riding.